Well, welcome to my podcast. I've chosen to hold my mic. Don't ask me why. I like having something to hold. Anyway, let's start off by telling everyone that's watching who you are. Give me like a quick rundown who Rakshitha is.
So I'm from India. I come from Bangalore and I've come here to do my master's. Apart from that, I am into a lot of cultural activities. I love sports, music, dance, and I love talking to people. Socializing is something what I love to do. So yeah.
Oh, nice. So that fits in nicely. Anyways, that's nice. What are you studying? I actually don't know.
So here I'm come here to do my master's in business analytics from Trobe University.
That's a lot of numbers, isn't it?
Kind of.
Yeah.
But it's a 2-year course, so I'm looking forward to it.
Numbers and me just do not. That's not a thing. It can't be a thing. So I commend anyone who's doing such a course. Honestly, that's a lot of attention that you need.
Yeah, but to be honestly, it's not just with the numbers. It's more associated with also like analytical skills. So
yeah, see, it just keeps going downhill for me. That's just nope,
Yeah.
nope. I don't know why. As soon as I see, I've been like this like my whole life. As soon as I see more than maybe 4 numbers in a sequence, I'm done. My brain checked out.
But not with the salary.
Ooh, oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yes, there are exceptions, of
Yeah.
course. So what kind of sports are you into?
So I play a lot of sports, but however, professionally, I've been trained in basketball. I've been playing it through almost 8 years now. I've been representing the state back in India as well. I've played quite a number of nationals and then represented uni. And yeah, that's pretty much about it.
What? That is so. I actually had no idea.
Yeah.
Professional in basketball. Wow. Do you still play here? You said you represent uni.
Yeah. Here I just go out and play with people because I need to concentrate much on education here. Masters is a little more hectic, but I do play.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
How did you get into it? Is it like a thing with the height? Or
Not really. Surprisingly, I was not that tall or this tall. I was actually put to table tennis back in school for my summer program, and I would leave that class and go sit near the basketball court because I was really attracted to the sport. And yeah, that's how my journey started.
okay, wait, hang on. Let's just rewind for a second. Ping pong?
Yeah.
What haven't you done? I think is a question that I should ask.
Good question. I've never played tennis.
Oh.
I've never played tennis. I've always wanted to try that. But yeah, tennis and squash. I think pretty much I've tried all the major sports like swimming, badminton.
Oh wow. Badminton isn't too far off tennis either.
Yeah.
So would you say you have like good reaction time?
Yes, I do.
Oh, then you'll be fine. I mean, you need that for any sport.
Yeah.
And again, something I'm terrible at. I'm very slow. But enough about me. So the university you're representing, La Trobe, obviously. So we got that out of the way. You've played basketball for them. What else have you been up to?
Here pretty much I have been trying to create content. I create freelance contenting. And then if people reach out to me, I do paid collaborations with them. I don't really have a specific niche because I do a lot of things. So yeah, you can probably call it like a little bit associated with lifestyle apart from sports. So yeah.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, one thing I'm very curious about. How did you get into the analytical side of things?
That's a very surprising, shocking news because in college, you'd be surprised to know I did my bachelor's in biotechnology, which is way away from this. But I was always attracted towards the business sector. And I was very sure that I wanted to do something with it. And through my college placements back in India, I got placed to a company as a business analyst. And when I had like a little bit of work experience, I knew that I wanted to continue further. And that's why I'm here to learn more.
Oh, how nice. I mean, like, because you're so oriented towards, like, the creative side of things.
Yeah.
So you'd expect that you take a course, like, I don't know, filming or photography. And then, like, it's such a wild card thing.
Yeah.
You've just gone a different route.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool, though.
Thank you.
What other hobbies do you have? I saw that you do, like, a lot of dancing things.
Yes. I'm very passionate about dancing. I've been trained in music. I've learned Carnatic music back in India. There are different forms like Hindustani and Carnatic. But I was also like very passionate about dancing. So I used to just like play music and dance anywhere. And I'm pretty much confident. It's not like I'm a great dancer, but I don't mind dancing on the streets if somebody questions me. So I think it just brings out happiness to me, and like it brings out that energy and the adrenaline rush,
Mm-mm.
which makes people happy as well. So
Okay, let's rewind for a second.
mhm.
You said when someone questions you, like
Yeah.
if someone's like, "Oh no, you don't
Yeah,
dance,"
yeah.
you'll just bust out into.
Yeah, I don't mind doing it anywhere. Like social anxiety fears me at this point. So
That's okay. I fear you as well, to be honest. I don't know what I would do
yeah,
if someone just randomly started dancing for me.
yeah, yeah,
Dancing and social anxiety. I feel like that goes hand in hand though. Because when you're dancing, I'm not a dancer by any means, I'm not good at it. But yeah, it feels like, you're being so vulnerable. Like with any art, really. Whether
yeah,
it's you're dancing, singing, like you're expressing yourself in a way that you have to be okay with people being like, what is she doing? And you kind of
yeah,
have to like wave it off and be like, yeah, this is what I am, this is what I
yeah.
do. And to get to that point is very admirable, like I have to say.
I think being creative in any field, it's not just dance. I think doing any creative stuff requires a lot of determination
Mm.
and starting off with self-confidence, because initially when you start off, people don't really believe in you because everybody has different perspectives. But as and when the days passes by, and if you ever become famous, so people will be there to support you all the time.
That is true. Yes, you have to start somewhere,
Yeah,
right? And that confidence is very needed to get you up there.
up there.
So
Yeah,
yeah, that's true, and it's not something that a lot of people have. I mean,
that's
that's
true.
what would make you unique in that aspect, and it's why a lot of people don't succeed in the creative field because shame gets to us,
Yep.
unfortunately, and that
Yeah,
it's really sucky.
that's true.
So, would you feel like Melbourne caters to your like creative needs? Like, do you think that niche is filled here?
Um, at least in terms of what I do, probably like creating content in terms of fashion, dance, lifestyle, it does cater. There's a huge scope. And there are a lot of creators, beautiful creators. Luckily, I've met a few of them. I look forward to meeting a few of them, and I follow them on Instagram. And I see they create a lot of content, and they're pretty famous. So I definitely feel that there's a huge sector out here which can play a huge role in the
Mm.
near future.
And I saw that you also attend a lot of like dance classes and you
Yes.
found your community, and that's
Yes.
so nice.
Yes.
So how did you find them here?
So now when I moved in here, I think for every international student, it's very important that you make your family apart from home, because when you leave home and come here, you'll start to feel lonely and you need to find your own ways to start off from scratch, right? I just looked out for people on Instagram, and then I Googled a little bit, YouTubed, and then found all the famous people, choreographers who take classes in the city, in the studios. I attended one or two just so that I could network and make the other friends. And then we formed a gang, and then yeah, that's where the journey started. And I attend the workshops because it's pretty good, very, very professional here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? I mean, how would you compare it to the workshops you attended back home?
So the workshops which I would personally prefer to attend back home was more related to like particular niche, Bollywood. It was really good there as well. However, I would rate the Melbourne workshops to be a little higher in terms of professionality, because they do give you the DSLR versions of the videos, and it's like bumper offer what you get for what you attend.
So wait, so they have like a cameraman?
Oh yes, and you get free video for that.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
what? Oh, that's so cool. And then you get to actually feel like the main character, like
Yeah.
genuinely.
You are like the queen while you're dancing.
That's so nice. Oh, I love that. Is there any other? I mean, I know dance is a huge community, and people who are in it take it quite seriously. It's sacred. Is there any other community, any other hobby that you've entered since you got here?
Not really actually. Sports. I keep going to the RMIT court out there, which is near to my place, and I play. I've met few people. I keep meeting them whenever I feel like playing. There's a really huge scope for sports here in Australia, regardless to say. So I'm looking forward to make more and more friends, and do the networking part of it.
Yeah, through sports.
Yes.
Which is so nice because
Yes.
all about teamwork. You meet the right people through
Yes.
those.
And I've also observed the culture here with regards to sports. Like people go crazy for the teams what they support, and they do take it real personal.
Yep, they do. And we were talking about this yesterday
Yeah.
about AFL,
Yeah.
which is something that not a lot of people know when they're outside of Australia. And then when you get here,
It's a whole
it's a
different
huge
ballgame.
deal. I think it stands for Australian Football League, or for short, the footy.
Yeah.
Footy.
Yeah.
So once you get to Australia, the norm is that you find your team and you stick with them. So I don't know if you've chosen your team since our conversation yesterday. I don't think
Not
they-
yet, because
not
I want to do the right research and then choose my team.
Well, that's better than what I did because I did no research.
Yeah.
For anyone who's listening and is interested, I go for St. Kilda, and I will break the fourth wall here. You might judge me, and I don't care. All right, we haven't won a championship since I was born, and that's fine, and that's okay. We'll come back. All right.
Hope's still alive.
Yeah, it is. But do let me know when you choose a team so that we can,
fight against each
exactly,
other.
and then we can actually go to a match and all that.
Yeah.
The vibe is insane. It's insane. These matches go on for a while too. I mean, the league.
Yeah,
goes
I
on
think
for a
it's
while.
like almost a 7-month period.
That is right. But also the matches themselves, like 4 quarters or something. I'm very illiterate, but it's about 4 quarters, and every time you're like, okay, this is an appropriate place to end the match.
Yeah.
They just keep going. So yeah, but no, the vibe is so nice. So you have to experience it at least once. Have you been to a sports match yet?
Oh yeah, recently I've been to Australian Open finals, and
Yep.
it was my first experience. Of course, it's like every first timer coming to Melbourne have to relive that experience, and it was amazing.
Yeah. Did you get to go inside?
Oh yeah, I did. So
Oh.
we did take the ground pass because if you're a student, you always get the advantage. That's the best part of Australia. If you're a student, you get discount almost every single place for every single thing.
Hmm.
So make the best use of it.
Oh, I love me a good discount. But what is this? I didn't hear about. I don't know about a discount for.
So you do get an option of ground passes. For example, usually if it could charge you like $40, if you're a student, it might like charge you like $30 or $25. That's the ratio, and yeah, you can make the best use of it.
Oh, nice. Did you get to meet any players, or you just walked around?
Unfortunately, no, because we were so involved and like excited to look around the entire park because it's so huge, right? People who have been here know it, and the vibe is totally different, like especially because I went in for the finals. It was really good, I would say. Yeah.
Oh,
But we
nice.
did get a chance to watch the wheelchair men's finals at like the arena, and it was good.
Yeah, well, that's nice as long as you enjoyed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say, I mean, you would probably agree, Melbourne's events are
Huge.
just through the roof. And now we have the F1 upcoming. What else? Taylor Swift is coming.
I know there are a lot of
this month.
concerts keep happening in Melbourne. I think it's so happening place all the time.
Such a hub
Yeah,
of all
yeah,
of these things. But let's go back to enough about that. Let's go back to our little lives compared to those big things. So would you say, and this is a big question, so bear with me. Would you say that you would be able to live life smoothly without hobbies as a student? Like, would you feel like you would enjoy it as much?
No.
Explain.
I think for everybody in their life, hobbies plays a major role. So if you want to keep your mind off something, especially when you want to be like completely focused in terms of education, I think everybody needs to take break. Now, break could define in any way for each one of them. For me personally, I would like to always do things which I prefer doing. For example, dancing or playing sports. Some people like watching series or just sleeping, but it's very important to do something because it's going to keep you on track, keep you focused, and then you can get back to studies later. It's always not good, at least for me, to keep everything monotonous.
Yep.
You need to step out of your way.
Yeah. And I can say that goes for a lot of students as well, because it sounds like, counterintuitive almost to be like, in order to focus on your studies, you have to do things outside of your studies. Because the norm, I mean, at least for me growing up in my family, if you're studying, you sit down, you're focused. And if you're, unfocused and something's wrong with you, you should pay attention.
Yeah.
But no, you're absolutely right. Because when I started also like branching out and doing my own hobbies, like going to the gym, going out with friends more, and then I get back to the work that I was doing, you're just like 10 times more focused.
Yeah.
And it feels way nicer.
Yeah. You're like at the prime focus region because your mind has got a fresh perspective. You've moved out of that place and got a time to like breathe about something else and then get back to it.
Yeah. And that's another important thing to say, because coming here to Australia as an international student, there's a lot that you've invested, not just you, your family, your time, your resources, everything. So it's very easy to get sucked into the, oh my God, this is my work. Exactly.
Pressure.
This is my work and I need to like focus on this and I can't do anything. But the fact is to make the most out of your stay here in Australia generally. like you would say that you'd have to get into these kind of things,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Mm.
Irrespective of just like the education period, I feel even if you age down or anything, you need to have a hobby. You need to find something that excites you every single day. You can't go to sleep with the fact that you follow the same old routine. Like, I do understand sometimes it does get monotonous, but you always need to look forward to do something. And that's where hobbies come up, because it's always fresh and it's always new, because it's not the same. Some days are great. For example, you might lift like 20 kgs in the gym. Other days you won't be able to do even a single push-up. So there are good and bad days. So it's a good balance.
Yeah, no, that's very true. And another important thing that we should talk about following that up is burnout, and how hobbies, even though, yes, you are overall doing more things, how splitting your energy that way actually minimizes burnout. It's a very interesting concept to me. So would you say that it lessened your burnout if you have ever experienced it?
Oh, yeah. When you're like a highly focused person, somebody like me, there are more chances for you to like always feel burnt out, because A, physically you'll be exhausted, B, mentally also it'll exhaust you at some point. So it's very important for you to take breaks. When I say break, it's the literal break. Like, you do nothing, you just relax to a point where your mind doesn't think anything. It's more like you just go for a walk, you sleep all day, you just potate on your couch and just eat a lot of chips and do anything which makes you feel better. And burnouts are very, very like underrated, and I think it's supposed to be taken and considered more seriously, because it, at the end of the day, it results to your next forthcoming week. So it preps you better if you take the break properly.
Very, very important thing that you just brought up. The feeling of being guilty that you're not doing anything. And again, with the pressures of coming here as an international student, like I said, yes, you've invested so much, and yes, you've sacrificed so much. Your family has. You're here for a lot of reasons. And so those days where you can't do anything but sit on the couch are just as important as studying.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's very important for us to feel it's okay that things don't go our way. We come here with a lot of pressure. We come here with a lot of responsibilities. In the process of just fulfilling responsibilities, we forget that we need to step back, settle down, relax, enjoy the moment. It's very important, because you're never going to get your uni day back.
Yep.
Like, never ever. So in the process of fulfilling something, you might forget what you have lived, because all you have lived throughout has just been stress. So it's very important.
I guess the days where you are potating on the couch, as you said, those aren't memorable. But what you will remember is the day after, when you feel recharged, you've regenerated, and you're like, oh, wow, I actually needed that. I don't know why I felt so guilty about it.
Yeah.
And even if potating lasts 1, 2, maybe even a week, that's fine, because you come out at the end of it feeling amazing.
Yeah. Another thing which I need to mention here is the Melbourne culture is so good that for universities, even though the semester lasts for like approximately 4 months, you still get a mid-semester break for a week. Like, even the uni knows that you need to potate.
True. Scheduled potating time. There we go. But that's actually interesting. So you did your bachelor's degree in India.
Yeah.
You didn't have a midterm break there?
No.
Because I've only ever studied here, so this is all I know.
Right. So in India, how it works is, after semester ends, you get a break. Again, if it's like even semesters, you get long breaks for 2 months, like summer breaks, and like winter breaks last for like approximately a month. But however, we don't get any mid-semester break. It's whatever after the exams.
Oh, so you go through that entire stress period, and then they're like, you may now relax.
Yeah.
There's no, oh, that's insane. I mean, when I was doing my bachelor's degree here, I remember the midterm break would be right after they assign you the big assignment. Is it the same for you?
Yeah, it was here for me.
Yep. So it's like when you're meant to be relaxing, you're actually catching up on your work.
Yeah, work.
But that's fine. And like, yeah, generally Australian culture is very chill. And that's something that you'll hear from basically anyone
Everybody.
here.
Yeah.
Everyone, it's just relax, dude. Like, you slow down, go to a beach, walk with like barefoot in the sand, feel the nature, like calm down, basically.
Yeah, like, I mean, I am so surprised with the work-life balance here that people actually have a work-life balance during the weekdays. That's I mean, kind of surprising for me. I don't know for what reasons, but however, it is surprising.
It's just the cultures that we come from, especially if you're like from a big city.
Mm-hmm.
or you're used to the city life. I mean, yes, Melbourne is a big city as
Yeah.
well, but in other city lives, like where I'm from, say Dubai or Egypt,
Yeah.
it's always like
Hustle, hustle, hustle.
everyone's always going somewhere. Like,
Doing
what are
something.
we doing? You know, and then you feel left out when you have nothing at hand, and then you feel guilty, and then there we go. But once you get here and you're like, wait, none of this matters. Like, I can just potate all day.
Yeah. Melbourne reminds you that whatever happens is a part of your life.
Mm-hmm.
You are not part of the situation. The situation is part of your life.
Exactly. Yes. So taking control of your narrative and doing that. And in saying that, adding really cool things to your narrative. Because going back to the hobbies thing, what I've found as well is that Melbourne caters to such niche like interests. Like there's pottery classes, there's these little, I don't know if you've seen them on Elizabeth Street. They make
Mhm.
like lamps,
Mm-hmm.
like the mosaic lamps, which
Okay.
I don't have
Mhm.
enough patience for, but
Right.
you just stick these little pieces of glass on
Right.
the lamp. It
Yeah.
makes this beautiful art piece. You can go to a paint and sip with a friend. Like, there's so much that
Too
you
many
can do.
options to choose from.
Yeah, literally, like if you look up anything,
Yeah.
like I'm sure you find like chair making. I'm
Yeah.
sure that's a thing that people do, right?
Yeah.
Just go on, oh, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, I'm making a table,
Yeah.
you know? And I would respect that. I'd be like, that's cool. I don't
Yeah.
know how to make a table. Maybe I should get into
Something new to learn always.
that. Exactly. And so like a quick Google search, like Melbourne, I don't know.
Favorite activities to do in Melbourne.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But even if you look up something specific like Melbourne plant growing, you'll find a whole community of plant growers.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they
you
call
might
them
have
farmers.
one workshop for it as well.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I really like that about this place. It's very cool. So with Melbourne's very niche hobbies and how they cater to it, there's also very good places to go out. So I wanted to ask you, what would your like going out scene be, or if you go out?
I would like adventure activities. So I would do like rock climbing
Oh,
or like go-karting or like arcade games. Ended up with a good brunch.
Hmm.
Because cafes close at 3 p.m. anyways.
yeah, they do. That's
So-
very sad. But that's the chill life here, right? Because then the employees get to go home and just chill out, right? But wait, have you been go-karting yet here?
No, not yet. Looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, I just did it. I mean, I assume you've done it before, obviously.
Mhm.
I just went for the first time in my life, like a few weeks ago, and I was so scared. Like, I was so afraid.
Were you on the track itself?
Yeah, I was like, obviously, why would I be scared on the sidelines?
Because it was your first time. You
It
never
was
know.
my first time, but you know, yeah, I was in the car and I went with my friends, and they were all like all but the fast life, and I just stayed on the left side. This is what you're supposed to do if you're
Yeah.
slow.
Yeah.
You stay on the left side so everyone can overtake you.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no. It was maybe going like 15 kilometers an hour. Like, please don't hit me.
So it was like, beep, break, beep, break,
Basically, yeah.
beep, break.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
at the corners is when they like the other racers would go faster, and I'd be like, nope, nice and slow.
Having your own little princess moment with
Exactly.
the
I was yawning at some point. I was like, how many times? Bro, I was there for like 10 minutes driving in a circle. Like fearing for my life as well.
car. Yeah. Yeah.
But no, that sounds really fun. Would you say you're like an outdoorsy person? Like nature is your thing?
Yeah, it is.
Mm.
I would prefer going out and doing like stuff like adventure activities or anything. Just like a physical activity would make me happy rather than like table ones, like just sitting.
Just
It's
sitting and
just
talking.
more of
and
my
stuff.
thing. Yeah.
You know, I think the perfect combination for a day out, personally, one activity, dinner.
Lunch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or lunch or whatever
Yeah.
time suits you. Because then you can talk about the activity and you've had fun. and
So
all
you will
that.
have things to talk about,
That is also
especially when you go on a date.
yes, exactly. That's great advice. So activity first,
Yeah.
food, go
Yeah.
home and sleep. That's my ideal day, personally. But yeah, you know, another tricky thing and something that a lot of people don't talk about is how expensive these things can get. And you end up, I mean, I know a few people that have come here personally, like some of my friends,
Mhm.
and they've felt the need to keep up with other people, which just is not right. You know, would you say that you've experienced that or you've seen that, like having to keep up with other people's expenses?
I have personally not experienced it from my end because I have a little bit on a frugal end. But I really want to put this out here that it's okay for you to say a no. especially when you come here as a student and provided with all the inflation situation happening here in Melbourne. It's very important to prioritize your finances on where do you want to go and invest it in. That doesn't mean you don't enjoy at all. You need to find the right balance, but again, you shouldn't do something just because you're under the pressure of it and like all people around you are wanting to do it.
Yep.
It's more like if you really find happiness, then go ahead.
Yeah, and that sentence of like, oh no, it's not in my budget, or no, I can't come,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Whether it's you prioritizing your expenses or you prioritizing your uni work, your designated potato time, whatever it may be, you know, I always respect that, like the people that are like, no, actually, I don't want to go out.
Yeah.
You know, and their reason doesn't have to be convincing.
Yeah.
You do you.
We need to really start normalizing to say no.
Yeah.
And accepting a no.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, like you said, budgeting is very important, very, very important. Because me personally, and I've told you this before, I don't know why. I'm good with money otherwise, but once I go out with my friends, money doesn't become real anymore. And it's like, oh, $40 pasta, that's a great deal. And then I like end up blowing my entire week's budget on like one plate. And then I get dessert even though I'm full because everyone is just trying to keep up with everyone around you, and it's just not right, you know?
Yeah. I think few tips what helps me to budget. This is how I follow. Since the day I'm here, I just like, you know, if you are an iPhone user, you have notes app specifically. So all I do is like, even if it's a minute expense, I just write it down.
Yep.
Like I keep a track of how much I'm spending every single day. And because I look at it every single day, it keeps reminding me that, hey, you're already spending too much. So it's there behind my brain, and it keeps reminding me to like stay congested with regards to my expenses. And yeah, and if you're using like Combank or any other bank, pretty much they give you budgeting options where you can like assign a designated budget and it keeps you on track. So I think doing all of this will definitely add into like budgeting things, and having a savings account will always come in handy.
100%. Yes. Yes. That made a huge difference in my life because I started working only when I got here, not before. And yeah, everything that would come into my account, like my salary, would go straight into spending. It's so hard to keep track of.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I do personally as well. Like when I go out, transfer, let's say the budget is $50, transfer that into my spending.
Yeah.
And that's it. Once you run out, you run out. Like you're not dipping into your savings again.
Exactly.
Woman, I swear to God.
Yeah.
You just keep it at that.
Yeah. And I think once your main account has the balance of like around 50, you'll be like, okay, I'm at the borderline. Let me survive until I get my next salary.
Yep. And that's okay as well.
Yeah,
and that's not shameful at all to say that.
All.
Yeah. I'm broke.
Yeah.
What about it?
We
what
are
you gonna
broke.
do? That's just like the perk of being a student here, right? So now that we're nearing the end of this, what is one thing that you would tell an international student that's about to come here? One thing you wish you knew, basically.
I would just say anybody who's planning to come here, it is overwhelming at the start. It's really hard because your life takes a 360. You start from zero. Relax. Everything is going to take time, especially in terms of finding part-time jobs. You don't have to stress yourself because end of the day, you will find a job. And I can assure you that. So anybody coming in here, be prepped mentally with the reality than being in a goofy world. Know that it's going to be a tough time. But if you are independent enough to work on yourself, you're going to survive and have fun as well.
Oh, I love that. Yes, nice. Ending it on a very fun note. Okay. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.